Welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome and hello. The live studio audience is going absolutely insane. Hello, everybody. Hello to the folks in the back. We bust in from the nursing home. It's great to see you guys. It's un poco mas, guys. Happy Monday. I wish it was Friday again, but this was very predictable. We sort of talked about this in terms of the, trials and tribulations of the SOFI stock. Whenever you see an offering, almost universally, they crash the stock, not only from where it was, but they crash it all the way back. All the way back down, way below that offering. It makes zero sense because, the stock's trading in the 29s, whatever it was, 29.60. And then essentially what this offering is, major institutions are agreeing to buy huge blocks of stock at 27.50. Of course, you pay fees to Goldman and the rest of these, blood-sucking turds who, will sell dog shit to a blind priest on a hot day if they can, make a penny. A lot of these, investment banks would push their, mother off a cliff just to sell some of this garbage. But SoFi, at a discount, 27.50, and the stock drops all the way down, near 27. So all of a sudden, you and I are able to buy at even a steeper discount than the offering discount. So it's like they're handing you a gift. It doesn't make any sense. And every time they do one of these, unless it's from a position of weakness, the stock goes right back up. And that's why, it wasn't just Tevis, but I'll call out Tevis because I'm just absolutely in love with his mustache and salt and pepper hair, like Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if he's Botoxing. I don't know if he's Ozembicing. I don't know if he's tanning. I don't know what he's doing, but Tevis looks fantastic, and I'm not afraid to say it. But anyway, I saw his video when he was talking about, Chris LaPointe and management lied to him. It's kind of a clickbait. I'll give him, the benefit of the doubt because we're huge Tevis fans here at Un Poco Mas. If you don't know Tevis, his deal is fundamentals of investing. And he is an original OG part of the Canadian fintech mafia. If you guys can't hear me or anything, let me know because my computer's making all kinds of like beeps and just crazy shit, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm horrible with technology, much like picking stocks, as it were. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys, let you know where my thinking is. I'm loading the boat on some SoFi leaps, going out a few years and going out to about $35 right now. It's too cheap. This stock, after that ER should be, and guys, not to pick on Tevis, I just want to, because the guy does great analysis and he provides it for free, and all those guys do, the whole Canadian FinTurd mafia. I love, but if you want to go to a source of like logic, go to this dude, Luke. He's bald like not a lurker, also extremely handsome, very vascular. The man's vascular. Like I've speculated he's a professional rock climbing instructor or something like that, but I have no idea. But he's essentially what he tells you with SoFi. He's a huge SoFi bull. He has been for a long time since the lows, but he's logical. He says buy the dips, hold long term. He's like, his basic thing is tune out all the noise, tune out the hype to the upside, tune out the fear to the downside, the panic that causes you to chase highs and sell lows, tune all that out. Don't pay any attention to all the hype, all the bullshit, all the emotion. Just take the emotion out and look at the earnings report. Look at the trajectory. He says it's better than I can say it. That's the audited financial statements. That's the stuff they absolutely have to tell the truth. Any of these talks, conferences, hype fest, love fests, love-ins, sit-ins, whatever you want to call it. Guy sitting in a windbreaker talking to a middle-aged lady in a pantsuit, and they're just smiling at each other, just talking about adjusted EBITDA till they're blue in the face. That is not an SEC filed financial, that you get with the earnings report. So if I could go, Luke with Stealth Wealth Investing is in danger of, leaping his way to the #1 SOFI related Youturder in the entire world, according to Unpoco Mas. And he would knock off Tanner, and that's no easy feat with his boyish good looks and Bowflex body. 70s porn mustache. I can't tell if he has those color change glasses that go from like sunglasses to regular glasses. Those are always suspect. See my viewer, Alfred E. Newman, over here. I'm sure he's there. Look for the guy with the perfect hairline, perfectly symmetrical, round-shaped head. Slightly bucktooth. Very handsome man. No, seriously, one of my favorite guys. I don't even know if that's him, but he's pretty funny. And he knows a lot about stocks. I got a tiny weighing audience. You guys have very poorly endowed, and you know that if you aren't so fat that you can't see your own wiener, but you guys are really smart. Like probably 95% of you are smarter than me. Where's that kid Emilio? I'm gonna buy some life insurance from that little shit. No, he's a good kid. No, he's got it's tough to make sales, when you first get going. Trying to get leads. I don't know what you're doing with the insurance. I've actually never sold insurance, believe it or not. It's one of the few things I haven't sold. I have sold a bunch of other, paper and bullshit, warranties, God knows. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Let's see. My mind is a million places, guys. I got so much going on. But with SOFI, and yeah, I will. I'll check my email. Hopefully, Emilio Estevez over there sent me an email, and we can get me covered, because God knows I'm a big, fat, stressed out bastard, and I'm going to have a massive infarction and drop dead probably any day now. I'm actually pretty surprised when I wake up every morning. I'm like, oh, I pinch myself. I'm like, holy shit, I get another one. Thank you. I get another one. This fucking great planet with a bunch of psychopath Karens. Everybody's complaining so much, especially like in the US. And it's like, oh my God, the gas prices. Oh, I can't stand it. Whenever I go to Costco, there's a line. When I'm buying Kobe beef, I got to wait like 5-6 minutes. Fucking outrageous. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck all you Karens. I'm over it. I'm cleaning out my closet. Just stop complaining. It doesn't help nothing. It just annoys everybody. Just stop it. Do something constructive. Help somebody else. Help solve a problem. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, you have time. If you watch this idiotic show, you have too much free time. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Cut out one of your bowling leagues. I canceled my penis ensmallment surgery for this. It's a huge sacrifice. Huge. No, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But as far as SOFI, guys, this is going to go back up to all-time highs. And if this little bull market, little Santa rally shows up, Santa and his little rosy fat ass prances in at the last minute, fucking like he's all that. You know what I mean? I'm even fucking jealous and hateful towards Santa. What's wrong with me? I think something is extremely wrong with me, guys. I don't know. Dr. Bob quit on me. I thought Dr. Bob was going to save me. I'm just joking. Dr. Bob still publishes incredibly good technical analysis over on Stock Twits. I highly recommend you follow him over there. But be warned, there's like Dr. Bob imposters. There's Unpoco Mas imposters. They're trying to tell you, they're like impersonating Danny, telling you, hey, I got a tiny wang over here. I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. I use the word manageable. Manageable. A manageable schlong. Not a small schlong. It's not going to scare you. Anyway, guys. It's still SOFI. Of course it's SOFI. Mr. Premium, the option. Why? Just like Luke said, because the ER, they're absolutely crushing it. The growth is off the charts. I mean, management has earned the right to raise this money at 27.50, and everybody's also freaking out. I'm far more upset about the insider selling than I am about the money raise. They're raising money from a position of strength. Insiders haven't bought a damn share since, early in 2024, and they keep selling and selling and selling. And I don't care if they sell their shares, but they keep awarding themselves more and more. And this is just how it works. I mean, it's not as egregious as like the type of awards they're giving at Palantir and these companies where they're having to recruit super highly talented AI minds and give those guys, $250 million a piece every year just for showing up. I mean, fuck me. I should have learned about the pooter. I needed to learn about the pooter. My parents gave me a hammer and a cheese sandwich, and I needed to learn coding. But I learned sawzalling and shingling offing. Hey, Dad, this ain't even digital. He's like, no, it's a shovel. Get them shingles off, boy. Like, oh, Dad, I want to code. I want to learn AI. He's like, you're too fat for AI, boy. Get up on that roof. Strip them shingles, boy. Come on, Dad, let me use the pooter. That ain't even a pooter. It's a calculator. You're too This is how the conversation went. Me and my dad, we were down in the deep south doing some roofing. I grew up. Very strange. Very strange. Anyway, guys, I would be remiss if I did not reintroduce, speaking of Tevez, the Tevez 3000 2.0. Let's see. But again,
let's circle back to that.
Yeah, let's get back to that later. We'll bring Tevez back. But no, listen, LaPointe didn't say we're not going to raise money. He said we don't need to raise money. So 2750, they're raising money from a position of strength. And let me make a little comment, if I may, first, CEO and a windbreaker I see tonight, who's my biological father. Let me make a comment on the S&P 500. Nobody usually gets in right away. It took Robinhood time. Carvana has $100 billion market cap, for better or for worse. I think that company is going to crash and burn. I think that was Carvana just popped 10%. If I had just slightly bigger balls, if I wasn't such a fucking pussy, I would short Carvana here, because it's fundamentally just completely overvalued. They have no margins. This whole, our refurbishing centers revolutionized the used car business. You didn't revolutionize refurbishing cars. Okay, even if you save $1,000 a car, that's not enough margin. You got to ship the cars to Houston, ship the cars to San Jose. Fuck me. Fuck me right in the goat ass. Jesus was a liberal hippie is here. Welcome and hello. The team has a record of yes, precisely. Give your money to Walter White and let the man cook the blue. Anthony Noto is Walter White. He is the one who knocks. Skyler, I raised $1.5 billion in the capital markets. I am the danger. I am the one who knocks. Take the trash out, Walt. Shut the fuck up. Being totally dramatic. Hank's coming. Oh, I hate Hank. Always telling stories about what a badass he is. Meanwhile, I made $50 million cooking meth. I can't even say anything about it beyond wearing this ridiculous fedora. Shut up, Dad. He's like, Walt Jr., good to see you. Like, why do you have that butcher knife? Anyway. Yeah, I am the danger. I'm the fat fog. The flabelanche. I am man-boobing for fun and profit at an extremely high level. Guys, if you didn't know, it's un poco mas. I don't even know what I was talking about with the show. But again, follow the smart money. They're going to crash this thing. They're going to try to wash you guys out at 27.10. And then they're going to send this thing up. How do I know? Because institutions, and especially the institutions that matter, keep buying the stock. This is SOFI Technologies institutional ownership. Absolutely speaks for itself. I don't need to explain this chart to anybody. If Tanner was here, he could tell you what this means. It means, yes, sir. Yes, chef. Yes, sir. May I have another? And then look at the institutions. We did this before. JP Morgan, #1 shareholder, according to this. I think Vanguard's actually more if you add it up. 900% increase last quarter. Look at where it was last quarter. It's not like these guys were buying at, 9 or 10 last quarter. Last quarter, the stock was up. Everybody expected a lot of dumping. It just didn't happen. And today, I mean, you'd expect, okay, they'd be reshorting, right? Because it's going to be driven down to 20. Shorts are actually covering a little bit. So you don't see anybody going wild, the last few days with the shorting. I think they're taking this opportunity to cover because I think they know, these market makers are going to send this thing to all-time highs. Come hell or high water. That's a pretty good movie, underrated movie. Is that the one with the Texas bank robbery thing? I thought it was crap, and then I watched it again and because I couldn't sleep, and it was pretty good. Okay, so again, who's who? It doesn't matter. Just look down the list. Susquehanna, Royal Bank of Canada increased by 100%. Morgan Fudley, they honestly, it's amateur hour. I don't buy it. Bank of Montreal increased by, that's a put. They actually increased their short, so that's bad. But RBC, Barclays, FMR LLC. FMR LLC is always making money. They increased last quarter 755%, average cost at $22. All these companies are buying in the low 20s last quarter, hand over fist, and then institutions now having to pay $27.50. It's like just because the stock price was $29.60 and they're buying in a bit lower than that. Again, I use the example of fleet pricing. If you're buying one truck, maybe you pay $50,000. You shouldn't be shocked if somebody comes in and agrees to buy 1,000 trucks for their nationwide company, that they might get those trucks for $45,000, closer to invoice. It's just keep things in perspective. And the fact that SoFi is even eligible for S&P 500 already this quickly. When these guys went public, they weren't even selling close to $1 billion. I mean, they've 4x the sales in 5 years. It's crazy. The growth is crazy. Not only is the growth crazy, but the consistency, the quality of the growth, the decisions management has made throughout have been very close to flawless. And they've taken, short-term hits back in the day and say, why weren't you doing more? Why wasn't your foot on the gas? And when other people are starting to have problems with their loans, the credit quality, SoFi's not having those problems because they were conservative. This is the type of management you want to invest in for the long term. If crypto, has a major crash, Robinhood guys start getting margin called, we start getting, into a real recession of any of the fintechs, this is the one I want to own. So I have no worry they're going to get into the S&P 500 eventually. Maybe it'll take another year. I don't know. S&P 500 likes to make, good companies wait, particularly if that sector is already overweight the index. They're probably going to want to get another, fintech, bank, financial out of there. I mean, they added a couple companies I didn't think are really very good quality companies. They had, a higher market caps for sure. I mean, I really think Carvana is a lot of smoke and mirrors, but I was saying that back at 20, and obviously I was completely wrong because the stock is 20x since then, but they just don't make that much money. But anyway, obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because if I did, I would have bought it and owned it and made a fortune. Yeah, he does keep diluting, but just think about it. Okay, 4% dilution to get another $1.5 billion cash on the books. You have to see what they're going to do. Even if they're just raising that money because the price is up so much, same reason insiders are selling up here. It's like if your stock was held down below 7 forever and then it 4x's and you have most of your net worth tied up in those shares, I would sell some too. Be logical. Don't be so emotional. Don't, marry and fall in love with the stock. Marry and fall in love with the fundamentals, but don't marry and fall in love with management's shares. Oh my God, they betrayed us. They lied to us. Grow up. Grow up. They're not here, to hold your hand and make you feel good about your shares in the short term and, explain everything to you in detail before they can't do that. You got a money raise. They can't even come out and say, hey, we're about to raise money, because they know it's going to, send the stock down. It's very material insider knowledge. They can't talk about it. They have to say, hey, we don't need to raise money at all. We got very strong, capital ratios right now. Our balance sheet looks good right now. And you have to know even if they just think there's going to be a rate cut coming up right away because we just got incredibly good, not good, but, inflation data that was, inflation is coming down. So it makes the likelihood of a rate cut, much, much higher than obviously if we'd have got a hot number. But I don't think we're going to get a hot number because, jobs look weak. Everything's weak. People defaulting on loans, car loans, home loans, credit card delinquencies are up. It's across the board. I mean, the strength in the stock market, crypto for a while, I think was masking a lot of the weakness at the lower end of the economy because it's just not something people report about in the financial media. If you're kind of got your nose in a book and focused on stocks all the time, you might not notice like car repossessions up and all these, but believe me, it's going to affect businesses like Carvana. It's like margin calls, crypto market. It's going to affect the bottom line at businesses like Robinhood. It's not going to affect SoFi yet. It doesn't appear to be. That's why I love SoFi, because I think they're really built for bad weather. They're really built for inclement conditions. They're really built to do well in any market because certain parts of their business are going to do good if things are tough and rates start to come down. People need loans, people need money, people need refi. Then, if demand is up and then the economy's up, people are going to need new home loans. People are going to need new capital. I think we're going to quickly get into business banking, more business lending. I think that's critical because I think SoFi's membership base, extremely high quality, lots of entrepreneurs, lots of business owners, lots of people that already have business banking accounts. And you can't call yourself a one-stop shop financially. Everybody who owns a business, everybody who has a business account, everybody who, runs a nonprofit, whatever, it's just anything that's not a personal bank account, you can't do at SoFi right now. So you have to have another bank. So I think we're pushing money, customers, accounts, products right out the door. And I'm sure management is working on adding small business banking services just as quickly as they can. But I know what I love about it is it's just a complete free bolt-on. You already have all the infrastructure to do bank accounts. If you have business checking, there's absolutely no difference really functionally between a business checking and a personal checking. So they could add, I would say, millions of accounts over time just from their current membership base. And I think they could attract new members because I think the small business owner is very underserved in many respects. It's like we get shit on at tax time. They just get trumped by the IRS. No, everybody likes to shit on, the hustle, the guy who gets out and hustles, the doctor, whatever it is, the lawyer, the contractor, the builder, these small business owners, people own restaurants, these people work their ass off. They're, and just because they're making a few $100K or whatever, a mil, come in, just take 50, 60% of it and bend them over a barrel for a guided tour of the 50 states and you treat them like a criminal because they're deducting their, Bruno Mollies and their Gucci man purse and all that shit. I don't know. No idea what I'm talking. The great Nada Lurkers here. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. This show is rudderless. Absolutely lacking direction. Yeah, so SoFi they did this big dipsy do, shocker. It kind of popped up. Pre-market, it was heading back up toward 28, and they really stepped on it. Problem is for the bearers, volume is going to be too much. The sellers are going to get exhausted way before the buyers do. Because I don't think any retail is dumping here on fear at 20. Again, guys, you drove us down under 5 so many times where I was loading there. I'm sure as hell not going to be afraid because you took it down to 27.06 or something. 27.05. Oh, excuse me. You got it down one more penny. What a big bad man you are. Let me buy you a pack of gum. Show you how to chew it. Hooah! Thanks, Mac Wilder, ML5YC. Appreciate that. What's up, ET Val? SMCI. Yeah, SMCI, guys. Hear me now, believe me later. This ER is going to be a game changer for SMCI. I think the Wigger and Uncle Chucky and Aunt Sarah, after a couple of, red wines and, a couple of successful exactas, these guys, I don't think... they're not going to guide for business they don't have. They've been down this road. They see the stock crash. the vast majority of the CEO's net worth is in his SMCI share. He's not like dumping holes. This guy's not, he doesn't have, 500-meter yacht type of taste. He has, brass button blue blazers he bought at Macy's type of taste. He is a passion for this space, for his business. It's his life, and he's driving the sector. I think it's complete nonsense with SMCI that it's just a box, just a commodity. They have a lot that they've developed. They're developing the industry standards for liquid cooling. They're just better. They're better than Dell. They're better than HPE. They're more cost effective. They're faster. And that's going to rise to the top. The fact that they can build these data centers with these building blocks faster, better, cheaper, and most importantly, that'll use less energy, because that's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. It's not just building the thing. It's over its lifespan, which could be, a couple of decades. How much electricity is this thing going to use? Because that's the real cost. You need a fucking nuclear reactor next to every one of these data centers, just to charge up their huevos in the morning, just to heat the frying pan to cook the chilaquiles we love so much here at Un Poco Mas. Guys, by the way, it is Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just that little bit more. We would like to thank and welcome our great, the great FinTech Wrench. You see him right here on my hats, by the way. Oh, no, sorry, I don't have my Not a Lurker hat on. I have it right here next to me, I believe. Yes, we do have it here. We would like to see it. If anybody would like to purchase one, Not a Lurker FinTech Wrench, I'm sorry. They're sold out because there was only one, and I have it on my big, giant, smelly head, and you're not going to want to buy it after that. And for those of you that keep emailing me wanting to buy my boxers, no. The answer is no. I only have the one pair. Get your own underwear. Let's see. It's funny how much logic is spewed out of Danny's mouth, but then in the next sentence he talks about fat man with small penis. That's logical, because even if you got an average penis, it looks small. It's buried under a flabalanche. You got enough man meat there to make a freaking Katz's Deli sandwich. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, Brian with a Y. You've partied. You've been in the sauna a time or two, had a couple of too many drinks. I'm not casting aspersions. Nothing we're going to tell the kids about, but we've all been there. We've seen a couple of, fat man's wings in our day. I'm not gay, but I am gay friendly, and I do like to party. So I've seen a few schlongs in my day. Had them coming right at me a few times. Had to duck, slip it. But we've all been there. Like I say, it's not gay if it was in college. So it's a time for experimentation, I tell you. Like sorry. Like the Magellan of fat man's penis issues. Plus, we won't even get into measuring, type of power equipment you need for a situation like that. Type of pulley, block and tackle. Anyway. Let's see. Dilution of the strength raises book value, not to mention the amount of money. Yeah, you're raising money at a great price. I mean, this stock was just under $10 this year. Was it April? The stock was under $9. And institutions who could have bought then are buying at 3 times that price. It's an extreme vote of confidence in the company that they even would make this offering here, because you think they might be embarrassed. They wouldn't be able to sell the 15. Obviously, they wouldn't do the offering if they didn't have the buyers. I mean, I think they're going to close this thing tomorrow morning. The buyers are going to be there. I mean, listen, it's Goldman, it's Bank of America, it's Citibank. It's not that much money. It's $1 billion, for God's sake. Let's see, guys. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Not a Lurker. Great J Money checking in. I have some sparkling water right here, guys. Sorry about my hairline. I'm going to change the buy SOFI, guys. Not FAFEPO, not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. But I feel like it's time to go. Since in honor of J Money Mondays, we're doing J Money Mondays from now on. It's Not a Lurker Day. We got our Not a Lurker hat on. So anyway, just trying to change up my look unsuccessfully. I'm just wearing these sunglasses because I got these 30% tint because it's just so damn bright in here. It's like no choice between these lights all go on. There's these horribly bright, blue office lights. Just give me a freaking headache. Anyway, You know, that's my sunny disposition, guys. Soon Poco Moss, it's cornbread, it's the tugboat. They call me DJ Patchy Drizzle. They call me Stock Karen. They call me Hurricane Lopez. They call me Tabasco Rojas. They, in fact, call me MC Al Dente. They call me, what else? I don't know. Stock Karen. What the hell else do they call me? Stubby Cohiba, of course, due to mangling my penis with a Vitamix blender while trying to manscape my pubes many, many years ago. But thankfully, with the help of a trusted member of the clergy, I have recovered. It's taken extensive counseling, but yes, Stubby Cohiba. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello. It's Poco Moss. Yeah, I just wanted to give you also just a little bit of, color, a little bit of color. I hate it. Like, that's another thing I heard in Tevis's videos. Like, and Tevis, honestly, he's a smart guy. He's like legit some executive dude who leads teams, and I'm a fucking hammer swinger. So what am I going to say? But the Tevis 3000 2.0.
Let's really drill down on this.
Thank you, Tevis. It doesn't have the breadth of the corporate speak, but I think the voice is there.
I'm at capacity.
Ooh, I'm at capacity. I love this thing.
We're gaining traction.
We are gaining traction.
We have to be disruptive.
We do have to be disruptive. Thank you, Tevis. But anyway, I can't afford the real Tevis, so I had to go with these Tevis 3000 2.0. Slightly more cost-effective solution. It's $1.99 and comes with the battery.
That's a no-brainer.
That is a no-brainer, guys. That price, to get a talent like Tevis on the show every single day. No, seriously, I'm just Josh. I'm just jacking. We only make fun of people we like here, but I'm not even making fun of Tevis. I was just listening to that video. It's like, okay, management didn't lie to us. You know, management can say what they can say, but raising money at 27, you could have just bought today almost 27. So what are you complaining about? Okay, there goes your dilution problem. Buy a few more shares down at 27.05 and you're good to go. Stop your belly aching. Stop going full Karen every time some minor piece of, quote unquote bad news comes out, which isn't even bad news. And I wouldn't cry about insiders selling shares here either. I would cry about, excessive stock-based compensation, which is then being dumped on the open market by the likes of CFO, or CTO Jeremy Michelle. Reshell my bell. Sell your shares and send me straight to hell. He's dropping the price, big share sales, trying to support the arts or whatever the fuck. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. DDI Chris is starting a job at SOFI as CF. Yes. Deadliest Catch Chris. Yes. They would be foolish not to hire Deadliest Catch Chris. I forget what his real name is. Data-driven investing. Yeah. But we met on a crab boat in the Bering Sea, working for Captain Sig. Oh, we're in a small bar drinking with George Clooney and the boys, and he actually stabbed me with a short knife. But thankfully, due to my man boobs and excessive gut, it did not pierce any organs, and we're great friends to this day. So, Deadliest Catch Chris, welcome and hello. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. CLP3, the point guard. And people are so upset with him. They sold made an agreement to sell 14 million worth of share. Hey, listen, dude, if I could lock up 14 milli for my family, I would, because you don't know if these, maybe the economy goes south. Maybe there's a bit of a downturn in their numbers. Bears could easily drive this stock back down under 10. Don't think it can't happen. Don't think it can't happen. It shouldn't happen. I don't think it will happen. But if you got kids that need, Ivy League educations and private academies, and you got gated estates, and you got a missus with expensive tastes, you know what Chanel bags cost? You freaking turds. I'm not saying Mrs. Lapointe is spending excessively. I'm sure she's probably a fucking CEO of some other company, some brilliant robotics designer. Probably got us all under mind control. No, I don't know. Maybe she makes more money than him. I have no idea. Maybe he's not even married. I actually have no idea what the guy's background is. But anyways, dumping shares. Noto's dumping shares. Everybody's dumping shares. But guys, when the stock 4X's overnight, stock 4X's in 6-7 months, insiders are going to sell. It's logical. It's prudent. If you were down in these doldrums where you saw your stock held down between 4 and 8 for a couple of years, he would be salivating to sell at 32. I mean, it's human nature. You want to sell these big pops, especially when you start to see the pullback. But that's when I think you pounce, because you can buy again here 6 cents right now. Oh, sorry, I still have my big face on. What a big ugly head. No, not really. I'm okay. Okay for an old fat guy. But anyway, so the stock's going to push back up past through 2750, and the stock is going to go back up through all-time highs. That's what's going to happen. Just period. End of discussion. There's too much growth. There's too much quality. The margins are going to get better and better and better. There's going to be more and more fee-based, tech-based, all that stuff. They're going to introduce new products. You saw this SOFI TIL Golf. They got numerous new partners. That's going to be big. They got their name on the stadium in LA. They got the Olympics coming up. They got 8 World Cup matches at the next World Cup at SoFi Stadium. It's worldwide exposure. We haven't even talked about this company. Everybody's so afraid of new, coming into the United States. They should be afraid of SoFi expanding into Latin America. Because I think people would much rather deal with, not a Native American, that sounds wrong, but I think Americans and even people abroad are much more comfortable dealing with a, American bank. And I know New's trying to get a banking charter and all that. And I don't have anything against New. I actually own New shares. Also, I would buy Celsius here, guys. Celsius is looking really, really good. I think that those shares are going to make a comeback. The other things I was talking about buying, I forget what they were. Mastercard, guys. I mean, and I'm not saying you guys should necessarily buy any of these companies. But Mastercard, believe it or not, I know it seems boring and you don't think of it as a fintech, but this is a growth stock, guys. I mean, if you look at the earnings, they're earning $4 billion on 8.6 in revenue. And over the last 3 quarters, they've gone from 3.1 to 3.7 to $4 billion in profits. And over the last 4 years, the revenues were 19 and then 8 in profits, then 22 and 10.3 in profits, 25 and 11.6 in profits, and finally 28 and 13.54 in profits. So that is really, really impressive growth. They have great management. It's an extremely high quality business. And I'm not saying the multiples are cheap, but I think it's an excellent buy here. I already talked about Home Depot extensively the other day. But I think the pullback there is just overdone on their sort of warning going forward. It's just general weakness in the economy. But this is an extremely, high quality business. And you can see this is kind of where it, sort of popped up. And then this has been a key level they keep taking it to since December of 2023. Came down off that level once, popped back up to 430. Rode down off this exact same level again. So this area is really good for support for Home Depot. And I expect it to move, back to the upside here, here directly. I mean, again, assuming we don't fall into a full-blown recession, which I think is a danger you have to be cognizant of. Costco, it's an extremely well-run business. It has been for some time. The multiples got a little bit rich up here at, close to 1,100. It pushed up there twice. But if you look at the level it's at now, it's kind of the same deal you see with Home Depot. It popped up to this level in July of 2024, came back to 800, and then sort of rode along this exact level for, I don't know, about 2-3 months before popping back up and getting rejected at 1,000, back down to this level, popping back through 1,000, kind of getting rejected 1,100, back down to this exact same level again. So this is not random, guys. This is market makers are, comfortable buying and selling here. It makes a market here. There's upside ahead. I mean, the business, again, the multiples are high, but this is a growth. People don't realize, this is a growth stock. I mean, the revenue just went from the 60s all the way up to 86 billion just in the last quarter, and earnings increased by 600 million from, or 700 million from 1.9 to 2.6. And you see just, very nice consistent revenue growth over the last 3 years from 226, 242, 254, and 275 billion. It's not lighting the world on fire, but the earnings just 3 years ago were under 6.3, 7.3. So that's, 6.3 to 7.3 in 1 year, a billion on top of 6.3. That's very significant earnings growth. That's like I'm just off the top of my head, like 17% at the bottom line. And then they take it to 8.1. Again, not as much. That's, what is that? 800 million increase on top of 7.3. So that's only, I don't know, 11, 12% growth, something like that. But still really, really solid, for a company in this space with this consistency. I just, the chart, the fundamentals of the business, the management, consumer sentiment, reputation, all that stuff. I'm a strong buy Costco, at 885. That's just me. So I'm not saying you guys should buy these stocks. Nafafepo, motherfuckers. Not financial advice, for entertainment purposes only. Don't sue me, bro. When you lose money on these shit picks, don't sue me, please. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what the point of this video was. It's totally stupid. We're gonna finish this week above 28. Oh yeah, definitely. We can finish this week above 30. This is going back up. There's too much volume. It's over 40 million shares traded already today. Retail's not selling anything. This is mechanic hacks playing the old Mexican standoff, sauna towel circle jerk. The old sword fight down on Wall Street. This is the old Joe Forica happy ending. The old massage boss down in the Bangkok massage district. Working with the Risotto brothers over there. They're in just for a piece. No share, just a taste. Wish I was in a business where I don't want to do anything illegal, obviously, because I'm far too pretty to go to jail or anything like that. So I always follow all rules and definitely pay all my taxes, Suri. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be in a business where I got a cash taste, just Ray Liotta swinging by with 3-foot stack of $100 bills, like no share, just a taste. Like, who gets a taste? Nobody's giving me a big stack of $100 bills. Then again, I'm not hijacking planes at LaGuardia. Jimmy! It's a great scene where he's in the shower and he hears the news of the hijacking on the radio. It's like, Jimmy! Yeah! So stoked. He doesn't care about the money. He just cares that they did it. Cares about the action. Cares about the money too, I'm sure, because, Pittsburgh people are going to kill him if he doesn't pay for the product. Anyway, hold on one sec, guys. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome and hello again to me. I had to take that call real quick. So much going on Mondays. I hate Mondays, but thanks, Nautilurker. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think the stock will almost definitely, unless the market totally falls apart, just a few red days, I think the stock will kind of hold up and go sideways here. But it shouldn't trade at 27.50. It's illogical. It's illogical that, retail and the mechanics and everybody should think, oh, I should pay less, than institutions just paid or are paying today or whatever. I assume Goldman has all this shit sold. They wouldn't do it otherwise. Probably buying it themselves. All the runners are probably buying the shares. And then they get, they not only get the discount from, 29.60 to 27.50, then they get the commission from SOFI, which I don't know, what is it, another 3% or something on top of every share. So that's like another 50 cents or more per share. And then if you buy the shares yourself, you're getting all that discount and then you're buying, you know. So I don't know if Goldman can buy their own offering. I don't know how the law works, but I assume they can, you know, or some, you know, related party or whatever. It's in my mother-in-law's name, Jimmy. I don't care what you do with it. Get it out of here. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Don't get anything. He's like, but I love that car. Shut. My mother-in-law's name, Jimmy. One more time. It's like Jimmy's just about to kill him, and he does end up killing him. The lady's still over there talking about how much she loves the car. I think he killed the lady, too. Goodfellas was not about forgiveness. It was about making sure people didn't talk. It wasn't about the warm and fuzzies. It was about, you know, putting your friends in a freezer truck, a bunch of furs. You don't want the furs? I'll take them back. No, don't take them back. Don't take them back. Never have them take back furs. First rule of Maury. Maury's wigs won't come off. I won't pay that vigorish. It's unreasonable. It's like, that's why you had it ready. Aye, Jimmy. Aye, Jimmy. Nafa Feppo, Eddie. Nafa Feppo. Don't sue me, bro. My whole family's lawyers, dude. Bring it. I'll get free representation. I'll destroy you. Countersue you. First Amendment, bro. Name and badge number. Dude, you sue me because you bought some stock I talked about. You're a moron. You're going to lose. Fuck you. Sue me. I don't give a fuck. Financial advice, not financial advice. I'll crush you. Got a team of lawyers. Bring it. They're like, oh my God, you got bad advice from a fat guy online. Dude, be accountable. Come on. Like me, I'm not blaming you for my man boobs. Blaming excessive chicken strip and quesadilla consumption. Blaming my own bad decisions. Lack of willpower, discipline. All that stuff. Anyway, what else was I saying to buy? I don't know. Merck's a good buy. Even Visa's a good buy, but I like Mastercard more right now. Nothing, you know, I just like the financial space is great. There's a lot of growth there. Doesn't mean everything has to be in SOFI. I mean, I have a ton of SOFI shares. A ton of SOFI shares. Like, how many do you have? Like 1,000? No. Like 10,000? No. Keep going. I don't have 100,000. I think I did at one point, but I had to, yeah, guys, I'm like everybody else. I'm not made of money. You know, I got to pay taxes. I got to do all kinds of other things. There's other stocks I want to buy, but I would also buy Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft is just like Microsoft. Okay, listen, they had an absolute home run earnings report. It was coming into the ER about 512. The stock pops up to what, 560, hits over 550 twice. I mean, the earnings report, it's only a mild EPS surprise, but believe me, they absolutely crushed it. And this is not unlike those other two stocks where it sort of falls back down to this level where it kind of broke it. So I'm not at all complaining about the stock being at 490, but I think it's a pretty good value here. I'm not saying it's cheap at all. But again, look at the annual growth with Microsoft. You got, you know, in 2022, they're doing 200 billion in sales and making 72 billion, then 210, 72, 245 jumps to 88 billion. So you get 16 billion in growth. That's, you know, a 22% earnings bump. And then it goes to 281 and 101. And then the quarterly, I mean, the quarterly is incredible. I mean, the growth hasn't been, you know, dramatic quarter on quarter, but 24, 25, 27, 28. I mean, you kind of look at the trailing 4 months, they've made, you know, $106 billion in GAAP net profit, and that's just increasing. And the stock took a hit recently because they said, you know, Copilot adoption wasn't as fast, so they lowered the quotas or something. And I think management denied that was the case. It was basically a press report, but I think Copilot is really good. I'm not saying it's going to beat Gemini because basically I think Google's strategy is to make Gemini free. Felix, Ah, in Monte Carlo powdering my wigs and my nose, if you will. My dogs like caviar and Peruvian wham wham. My golden retriever has a bigger investment account than you do. Felix, Felix. Anyway, so I'm a strong buy Microsoft below 500. I think it's just an incredibly well-run company. I think they're doing a hell of a lot with AI, and they're going to monetize the AI. You know, Google might make AI free to basically crush chat GTP and crush Meta's ambitions, but they're not going to crush Microsoft in the corporate space. It's just not going to happen. Microsoft is way too ingrained in the popular ethos. Anyway, so let's see here. I don't know what else I was going to talk about. I think this is a pretty good article on SOFI, if you feel like reading it. Dilution hammers shares, but accretion is the name of the game. Quad 7 Capital. This guy's pretty smart. I've seen his articles before, but it just basically goes through the offering, and you know why essentially like what Tevis and others are saying is there's so much uncertainty. It would be great if management could provide more information, but in the short term, when they can't talk or they haven't talked, you have to take it on faith that management would not raise this money if they couldn't make a better return than that 4% or whatever. You know, and it's not really just 4% dilution. It's like a fraction of that. It's the fees and the costs, you know, because you get cash commensurate with the vast majority of that 4%. So cash isn't worthless. Cash is worth the same as so I look at it like you're not getting diluted. You're selling, you know, 4% of your shares for $1.40 or whatever. And you can buy more shares the next day, i.e. today at 27, and you get an even better deal than you came in with if you weren't such a huge Karen and you kept things in perspective. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's a good article. I'm not going to go through it because I'm tired and I have work to do and I have too much shit to do, and I got to get back to like 30 people that are texting and calling me. But final thoughts. We are looking at a little less than 5% dilution at the company. It is meaningful. They're not incredibly detrimental to EPS. And that's my theory, is like Anthony Noto is going to take this 1.5 billion. He's going to increase EPS way more than 5%. What if he can take this, make a deal, increase EPS by 10, 20%? Think about the, you know, return on capital. So I don't think they would raise. This is what I say. Why you have to. Everybody talks about how amazing SOFI management is and the job they've done, and then they throw them a little bit of a curveball, something they didn't expect or hold their hand through or explain. They're like, "Oh, SOFI management is lying to us." I think you got to be a little bit more circumspect, and you know, they can only say what they can say, and they answer honestly the way they can answer at the time. It's like, do you need to raise capital? Of course we don't need to raise capital. Look at the numbers. Now, it might be advantageous or beneficial for us to raise capital. And you might have found out that the next day we are raising capital. But if you keep, again, perspective, I think it's a very good thing. I think it's a very good thing institutions want. And I think it's a very good thing we're S&P 500 eligible. I think it's amazing. I think management deserves a standing ovation for getting us from A to B in 5 years, where this company's selling a couple $100 million a year now, market cap over 30 billion, and GAAP net profit as far as the eye can see. And I think cash flow positive isn't that far away. Now you look at the cash flows, like cash flow from financing is way up, you know, is a big number. Cash flow from investing and cash flow from operations are down because they're a lender. Don't worry too much about the cash flow. This business is not in any type of trouble. Business is raising money from a position of strength so that it gives them more flexibility, more opportunity, and they will make us more money with that money raise. I guarantee you management knows what they're doing. What I'm worried about is them just printing shares, giving them to each other, big high five, dumping those shares on the open market. I'm not worried about the cash raise per se. I'm worried about, do they use it for a piggy bank to buy themselves yachts and catamarans and pec implants and Brazilian butt lifts? or do they deploy the capital effectively so shareholders get a bigger and better return? And I can finally get that penis installment surgery that I so need. So I can join with you, my tiny wing brethren. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just pulling your leg. Pulling your third leg. Old Oleg, third leg Alexandrov. Know what I mean? Anyway, there are exceptions to the tiny wing rule with you and Poco Moss audience, but very few. Oh, if you've ever saunted with Oleg, quite a deal. Anyway, guys, so yeah, SoFi, strong buy. Microsoft, strong buy. Costco, strong buy. Home Depot, strong buy. Mastercard, strong buy. I don't know. Yeah, Neo, I think Neo down around 5 is hand over fist buy. I don't know what Neo's doing today. I know it was up a little bit earlier. What else is happening? Carvana up 13%. Oh my God, that burns me. It just burns me on so many levels. I'm such an idiot. I just buy the stock. They're telling me to buy it. Neo, they stepped on it again. But yeah, NASDAQ, everything's coming back down. I don't know. Did we get some data? Anything happen, or does everybody just have a tiny wing so their head went back in their turtle shell, if you know what I mean? And I know you do when it comes to a tiny wing. Nobody's more expert than my audience. Let me tell you that. Yeah, I don't see any major news. NASDAQ fall with Wall Street. Yeah, so they're waiting for the Fed. Is the rate cut today, or is it later this week? Or, you know, I say the rate cut like it's a foregone conclusion. Let's see. So the 2-day policy meeting starts on Tuesday. So what do they make the announcement on a Friday, or I don't know what the hell they do. I should know that. I do. Yeah, the tame reading on the PCE, and you have no idea if you can trust these numbers. I still see people spending like drunken sailors, even though they're completely insolvent. Warner Brothers up 3%. Nvidia recovering nicely. Again, Nvidia, this was another like ridiculous fear-based dip on Nvidia. Like, oh, Google's going to put Nvidia out of business. No, they're not. No, they're not. You know, Nvidia makes an incredible amount of money at incredible margins, and there's absolutely no end in sight right now. So it's just not the case. I mean, these narratives, it's like, you know, Luke says, just look at the ERs, tune out the rest of the noise for 3 months. If there's a problem, it'll show up on the ER. Don't listen to some bozo, you know, some fat guy on YouTube, or some, you know, bozo on StockTwits or whatever. This guy looks like a, you know, Alan Alda a little bit. I don't know who the hell he is. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. All right, so it's Wednesday. Bond sale this week goes away. Clap my dog is sub. The unsub is sub. You know, it's wetter than other pockets. DCAing on my June 2026 $15 calls, and Neo, like, it's going to be interesting. It's a lot of confidence to go out to 15. Uncle Bruce was pleased with the stock offering. Yeah, I saw his take also. Yeah, he understands. Uncle Bruce understands. Finance is the name of the game. You know, when your stock 4Xs, you sell some, you raise some money. It's a hedge against possible downside. It's a hedge against whatever. Maybe you need that money. Maybe they already have it earmarked for something. But I know they're going to spend it wisely, and I know they're not just going to let it sit there on the balance sheet as cash. They're going to deploy it some way to make more return than 5%. That's just what they do. Iovance really making a really nice move today. Not exactly sure why. I know they got a write-up in like Simply Wall Street or something. But yeah, nice volume, 8 million. It's up 11 cents on the day, looking real strong. Some nice buys coming in there. Just another write-up in Simply Wall Street, but they pump the stock every few months. I think this should be, you know, an $8 to $10 stock right now, but that's me. You know, obviously more data. Not going to get bought out today, but I think in a year's time, this could definitely be a buyout candidate if you continue to get good data. You know, it's just the potential here with this TIL therapy on solid tumors is just unbelievable. So, you know, they're already curing melanoma. They could, you know, be the best treatment for the most common types of lung cancers, cervical cancer. And if that pans out, this company is worth massive, massive money. And I just think I think they've already shown enough cards where that potential is there and they deserve much better valuation than this. Analysts agree with me, but Mr. Market doesn't. Mr. Market's got the biggest schlong, so he gets to make the call. You know what I mean? Slams that bad boy down on the table like a sloppy salami. Says, listen, you retail peons, I'm going to smack you upside the head because you got a tiny wing and I got a mansion in Connecticut. My mistress needs breast implants. So fuck you. I'm going to drive you off a cliff, steal your lunch money, drive your women and children out into a cold prairie. Free grazing is legal. We'll have that drink. You guys want to do some Kevin Costner? I've seen dry land. I'm fond of you, Sue. This is my branch. Great acting, Kevin. Can you cry? Like, I am crying. What is this? I am Sam? Annette Bening is disgusted. Oh, I thought you's the doctor's wife, but you's the doctor's sister. Like, I know you're supposed to be a cowboy and not highly educated, but are you special needs? I don't follow you, Sue. It's like, no, we're not on camera right now. I'm talking to you in a trailer. You can call me Annette. I'm like, what? Oh, man. The Postman. Was that him too? Waterworld and the Postman? What's going on? What's going on? I like Field of Dreams. That was good. Edward James Olmos. No, not Edward James Olmos. James Edward Jones. That was American Me. Stand and Deliver. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb sometimes. Like 24 hours a day. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Anyway, this show's fizzled out long ago. SoFi, they're just kind of holding it. You see this level here on the daily, like it bounced right off 2750 when they dipped it at open, and then it kind of bounced off, not right there, but 33, then again. So third time right there. Then it broke down and it was resistance again right here, broke through. So they're really kind of targeting this level. Not really sure why, but again, I just don't worry about this at all on the chart. The chart's not really doing anything, but the chart, this still to me, this just screams uptrend. You know, I'm not worried about this chart, them dropping the stock here. I mean, they dropped it down to 25, they dropped it down to 23. And with this, all this FUD, you know, oh my God, we didn't get the S&P 500. The fact that we're eligible for S&P 500 already, you should be teabagging this management team. You should be giving them your shares. You should be buying them and then, you know, a steak dinner. All the fixins, loaded baked potato, extra butter, extra bacon. Loaded baked potato is probably my nemesis. Probably done more damage to me personally and professionally than anything else. Even alcohol and sedatives. Those loaded baked potatoes. I think I can get that thing with add-ons up to about 3,000 calories. Because they put on the butter with like an ice cream scoop. And that potato is the size of your freaking head. And probably is symmetrical if you're not a lurker. Yeah, but stay away from those. Stay away from the fixins. That's the problem with like eating out is the fixins. That salad dressing. Your salad goes from like, you know, 600 calories to like 2,600 calories. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the fried chicken, habanero mango chicken wings. How are you eating that, not a lurker? How are you keep maintaining that girlish figure? That's cray-cray. I didn't know you could eat chicken wings. Have a head that good. Bike like 500 miles. Ugh, my hairline is receding faster than my portfolio. Anyway, guys, there was no point to this show at minute 3. There's no point to this show at hour and 3. It's a huge piece of crap. So people are saying, let us know if you're buying something. I'm buying those stocks today. So I'm letting you know. Nafafepo. Don't sue me, bro. I already got a tiny wang and a bucket of debt. Don't need you serving me papers. Who are you, my ex-wife? Maybe you are. And if so, the check is in the mail. No, I don't have an ex-wife. I'm going to be only one. No one and done, just one. Hopefully soon. Anyway, guys. Yeah, I got deep roots everywhere I go, man. I love everybody. I'm a people person. Doesn't matter where I go. I love people and they love me. I identify as a fat black grandma. That's the type of energy I bring to the table. Just a lot of love, a lot of good food, a lot of fat hugs, a lot of man boob right in your face. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. Let me get my paws on you. Let me get my paws on you. Just bury your face in daddy's man boobs there. Oh, it's a comfortable place. You know everything's going to be okay. I got to get back to the islands, guys. You can't man boob in Southern California. There's just way too much shame. Like, I'm going to go down to, like, the Equinox gym where everybody, guys, just waxed with, like, 500 abs. Just man boob in the pool. Give me a break. Fuck that. I would. It's just too much, guys. I like Hawaii, different islands where there's guys like 6'6", 500 pounds. They're just man boobing at a luau. They're just giving me a fist bump. They're like, hey, finally a big man. There's not a lot of fat people with enough money to come here. They're all down at the Shoney's. We don't serve chicken strips at this luau. I'll come anyway. You know, I can eat a piece of fish. Not that fat. No, you are that fat, sir. Okay, I am, but I'll still eat fish. Do you like fish or fish? Oh, man. Let me know, too, if any of you guys want to cash in your SoFi shares and invest in my barbecue restaurant. I'm trying to get something open, but the costs are just astronomical. Then in LA County, you know, they don't let you can't cook outside like on a smoker. You got to put it all inside with like a hood. It just costs you like couple $100,000 to get a fucking smoker set up. It's ridiculous. Because then the AQMD comes down, the Air Quality Management District. You can't have a fire. You can't have a barbecue. I get it. I'm not looking to, I'm not looking to harm kids with asthma or anything. Maybe give them a backhand slap. What's wrong with you? Oh, they're just weak. They can't concentrate. Oh, they have asthma. Can't breathe. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry I slapped your son. Thought he was misbehaving. No, he's blue. He can't breathe. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have kids. I don't know. Well, what you should never do is come into a situation and just smack a child, especially when it's not yours. I take that under advisement while I'm being handcuffed. Now, you can't hit kids anymore, especially if they're not yours. Oh, my God. Kids have gone so soft. I think that when they start giving these 8-year-olds iPhones, it's over. It's game over. Kids can't talk to anybody. Like, they can't work at a fast food restaurant. Like, oh, my God, what is this? It's a cash register. What's cash? I just like, it's a different world. You know, if you grew up like born after, 2005, or you had smartphone your whole life, you had internet your whole life, everything's online. I don't even have that mindset. I got an analog mindset and a man boob persona. Nothing says old Danny like a nice set of man boobs and a C10 pickup truck, just lowered. Oh, Rusty. And you guys down and out want to sell me an original C10 short bed. 67 to 72. I'm your Huckleberry. Cash on the barrelhead. I'll give you more money than these scalpers. Even if you got a nice clean long bed, let's talk about it. Email me at fattennisninja@friendster.com. Just poke me on Friendster, but be polite. Poke me south of the border. You know what they say is south of the border, I'm playing small ball. If I was a middle infield combination, you're talking about the size of my twig and berries. First off, I'm all titers. I'm no meat, I'm all titers. But if you had a double play combination that represented my genitals, I think it would be Mike Gallegos and Glenn Hubbard. Oakland A's baseball. Just some nice, hard-headed, 5 foot 3 inch Oakland A's baseball. Mike Gallegos, the gag man. Just fundamentals. Guy will play second base from like 15 feet into the outfield grass, not even fucking around. Throw you out by like a quarter of a step on a routine ground ball. Just taking his time. Get that little can of corn. Get that little short pop up. He's on it. He's already in short right field. And he's already short. So anytime he's in right field, he's short right field. But I used to be a huge Mike Gallegos fan, believe it or not. Like the Oakland A's. It's the only place we could afford to go. It's like you could get bleacher seats at the Oakland A's back in the day. I remember the funniest thing I ever saw was just for no reason, Iron Ron Hassey trying to bunt for a base hit. It was like the 9th inning. I think there was 1 out. There was a guy on. They were down. The A's were down by like 3 runs. And Ron Hassey is like a fat guy. It just makes no sense. And I'm sitting there. I'm a little kid. I mean, I'm not a little kid. I don't know what I was a teenager. I have no idea. But he just steps up. I think he just tries to bunt for a base hit. He gets thrown out by like 50 feet. They didn't even look back the runner. I think the pitcher was just laughing at him. I don't even think the first baseman bothered to move. I think the pitcher just like crawled over there and fielded the bunt and threw old Iron Ron out by like 50 feet. He could have walked over and tagged him, had a cup of coffee together before he got to first base. So like you're not moving the runner to third. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's a terrible bunt. But even if it had been a good bunt and he moved the runner, I mean, I guess that was the point. It was like the worst bunt ever. I thought he was trying to, because why would you even do that when you have 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning, you need 3 runs. You're not going to, sacrifice that second out and move the meaningless run from second to third. Are you Ron Hassey? Still to this day, it bothers me. 35, 40 years later. If anyone knows Ron Hassey, please get in touch. Please get him in touch with Un Poco Mas. Please get him in touch with Not a Lurker. Ask him what he was thinking on that fateful day. And if he saw that hopeful fat kid up in the audience, someday wanted to pick stocks. Can anybody get me an interview with Ron Hassey? I want to know what he was thinking with that bunt. He did not get a bunt sign. It was clear the coaches were surprised. Like nobody knew. Everyone in the audience was like, what the fuck? The coaches, the base coach, like, Ron. It's like, I thought I could leg it out, coach. You leg a lamb, leg a ham. Give me a break. Vita Blue, Reggie Jackson, Sal Bando, Sell the Stockbroker. You ever notice who that guy who has his photo up here with Peter Lynch? He looks like Sal the Stockbroker. I noticed. And tag me, short squeeze the hell out of. Oh yeah, Green Tree. This stock can short squeeze big time. Big short on IOVA. Big short. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what these turds are up to. So IOVA up just 4%. Scrotum Investment Management Group bought 400,000 shares. Differences in clinical trial activity, distribution, reports change in beneficial ownership by chief regulatory officer. I think this is management buying or being awarded free shares or whatever. So yeah, they're shorting again today. Live short interest at free float, 35.5%. Wow. The audacity of dumb. Not the audacity of hope, the audacity of just dumb. I mean, I guess they get short into the ground, but, buyout comes, deal comes, data comes, anything comes. Come on the bass drum. Yeah, I'm gonna give Not a Lurker his Christmas bonus today. He actually deserves it. It's gonna be for the little lurkers now. I wish, guys. I'm broke as a joke, and I got a tiny wing. But we'll see what we can dig up. Anyway, guys, that's about all I had. This was about all I had about an hour ago. This video could have easily been 10 minutes long, and contained just as much information. Could have been 10 seconds. Could have not made the video. Would have been even more useful to you because it wouldn't have wasted an hour of your time. But anyway, I'll go back through your comments. Yeah, it should spike back when the offering completes. It's just natural whether selling shares on the open market at 27.50, the stock's probably not going to go much above that. But honestly, it should be going back up right now because, you know, those shares are spoken for, and I believe it's a very bullish thing that they're able to do this offering, you know, this close to an all-time high with so much economic uncertainty, so many, you know, ridiculous FUD bearish narratives around the stock. But if just all I'm asking you guys, chart SoFi's revenue growth from the time they went public quarter by quarter by quarter. There's only like 1 or 2 quarters where they have tiny dips. It looks like a stairway to heaven. Where were you when the build ladder to heaven? Ladder to heaven. Much respect to the great Alan Jackson. We will see a spike in the price when I finally perform the SoFi Rock Opera. That's really the only thing that's going to send this thing to the moon. My biological father, Anthony Noto, has requested I do the SoFi Rock Opera, but I'm trying to complete it. I might do a rough run through, and then you guys can maybe you guys can write the end, put some songs in the end, because I wrote all this when I was depressed and fat, eating a lot of chicken strips and frozen pizzas back when SoFi was like 5 and 6. So it's a lot of dark stuff, a lot of like My Chemical Romance, and I don't know what's else in there. Some Billy Joel. Got some, who else I have? I don't know. There's like 20 bands in there. I can't remember. Live. I did sort of a version of Live. Lightning crashes. Of course, the stock crashes. All student loans die. Revenues fall to the floor. Management opens their eyes. Well, no, those girls are so bright. Oh, no. It's kind of that's the rock opera. It's very, very stupid. It's going to be very embarrassing. But if the stock needs support, I'm willing to embarrass myself. I don't care. I got too many shares. I got too much on the line. If I need to debase myself, humiliate myself, I'm definitely willing to do that. I sell my soul, but only at the highest rates. The highest rates. Pay the writer. Pay the writer. Oh, I'd love to come to a Daytona Bike Week, a Tiny Wing Festival, whatever you got for me. Anyway, guys, I got to run. Really appreciate it. We got Weeping Leader. See a spike in the price. I'm a fun guy wherever I go, guys. I like mushrooms as much as the next guy because I'm a fun guy. Anyway, the same thing I got last. Yeah, I screwed Not a Lurker last year, but not this year, Not a Lurker. Not this year. I got you. I got you. I know those kids are fucking expensive. He's got kids in college are rowing. It's like country club, private academy. Kids row. What kind of upper crust, bougie type of operation you run in Not a Lurker? It's out in Jersey. His neighbor's Tony Soprano. Sitting a $7 million house backing up to the woods, backing up to the river. This kid rowing caviar up to him. Well, he bikes around a pet elephant. Not a Lurker's the best. I don't know why he helps me with this stupid show. He's just a nice guy. Just a good guy. Like I say, if you need somebody to help you move, somebody who's going to show up, somebody who's going to do the right thing, that's Not a Lurker. Somebody who holds the office together, somebody who helps all the new people. Not because he has to, just because he wants the company to do well. He works there. He's, you know, he's got a good attitude. That's at least how I imagine J Money. Just fucking good dude, man. And we appreciate him here doing Poco Moss. We're huge fans of Not a Lurker. Huge fans. Not just because he works here. Not just because he got a beautiful bald head and he's so handsome. So many reasons. His intangibles. What he brings to the table. The fact that he's able to take that tiny, sharp bike seat to the taint for 30 miles and still be jovial. That says a lot about a man. It says a lot about his taint. Well, on that note, Not a Lurker's taint, which is huge, Schlong to be determined. Leave that up to Mrs. Lurker. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you so much. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Princess J, for just putting up with my insanity. I know it's not easy. I am a fucking mess. Absolute fucking mess. Thank you, QT, putting up with me. All of you guys, thanks a lot for watching. I really, really appreciate you. Don't worry about SOFI. Don't you worry about a thing. Why worry? There should be sunshine after rain. Anyway, guys, I don't know why I'm thinking about songs of worry, but I'm a complete nutcase. That's why. Thanks, guys. Peace. I'm out. Un poco mas. Y'all heard. Don't like and subscribe. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's not a value trap. It's a Chinese finger trap placed upon your wing, led around by a demanding girlfriend through expensive outlet stores, making you buy purses. And you already got a tiny wing. You're already in a lot of debt. So that's not what you need. You'll see a beautiful woman approach you, asking you to drop your pants, and she's carrying a Chinese finger trap. Ask for your credit card. Just say no, guys. Just say no. I'd rather you say yes to drugs than that. You're going to wind up in a world of debt. You don't want that outlet mall debt at 33% interest, because we know you guys are going to miss payments. The fact that you got a tiny wing and a tiny bankroll, I see missed payments in your future. Miss Cleo, Dionne Warwick, missed payments. You know what I mean? Add that shit up, guys. 9.5 plus 4 pennies. Pepe Sylvia. I got boxes of Pepe, motherfuckers. Boxes of Pepe. Fuck you. I'm out.